There's a very clear difference between love, desire, and lust. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the difference and where it comes from. And after watching this video, I believe you're going to discern and going to differentiate. When someone says, I love you, you actually know, actually, this person doesn't love me. He just desires me or he lusts after me. And if he says, I desire you, then you know, and really, actually, this person actually loves me. Or maybe I lust over you, maybe he desires me, you would actually know how to discern and differentiate them. And to answer this, I'll go back. First of all, a human being is made up of three elements: the soul, the spirit, and the body. Now, to understand this, you have to go to Genesis 1 and 2. When God created a human being, or when God created man in Genesis 1, he said he created it, and he created a man and he gave them dominion. In Genesis 1, 26, 27, he gave him dominion over every animal and everything that was on earth, right? He gave them dominion. Now, when God was talking about that kind of man, that was the spirit man. It's not this flesh. And then in Genesis 2, it says that from the earth, he formed the man and all that. That is where the body came in. Now, we don't see the soul until the spirit comes into the body. And after it comes to the body and the man wakes up, that is where the soul comes in. Now, you may ask yourself, well, where does it go? And it's very interesting because what you see here, that is the body. That is who you are. That's who we see, right? That is who we see. But then the soul is like in the middle and the spirit is like inside. All right. And you might ask yourself, well, the order is like 1, 2, 3, not 1, 3, 2. Right? I know if you understand, you get that. But the soul came after the spirit came into the body and it started to make decisions. Now, your decision area or your emotional area or your thinking area is in the soul. Now, the power of the soul is to actually mediate what the spirit needs to the body and what the body needs, and sometimes the vice versa. Now, because of the fall in the Garden of Eden, because in the Garden of Eden, the spirit was powerful enough to take control over the soul and the body. But then because we rebelled and we chose ourselves more than God, now the soul started taking over. Now, the soul is like a child is like an entitled child. The soul, that's the power of this. It's like an entitled child. Although it's a child, but it's very, very powerful. And if you don't connect to God, it can drive you to do whatever it needs. And that's why you see some people say you're very emotional. You just act out of impulse or something like that. That's the power of the soul. It just acts out of impulse. That's why it is. But when it is guided by the Spirit, then you see you start hearing different words like that guy he has so much wisdom, or that guy is very spiritual, or that guy is very insightful, that guy is very that, because when the Spirit takes over, it gives things that are eternal. It's divine and it's eternal. It gives things that are lasting, things that are good. But when the soul takes over, it gives temporary things. Oh, I'm happy. Oh, he made me feel so happy. He made me feel. Oh, she made me feel so content and all that for a moment. That's how the soul acts. It's something that is very interesting, very powerful, and very important, because without it, you can't actually tell things in the world. Really, it's a very good thing, but if it's like a horse, and the spirit is like a rider. If you let the horse ride in itself without a rider, it's just gonna be a wild horse. But when the rider is on there, it's gonna be tamed and it's gonna go the right direction. Now, let me get back to the question that how can you discern that this is what between love, desire, and love, desire, and lust. Now, love comes from the Spirit. desire comes from the soul and lust comes from the body. Now, when you desire something, that is the soul wanting that. I want it. That's why desire is passionate. They say desire is like a fire that burns, but it doesn't burn forever. It burns for a moment, then it fades. Now, some people, when you meet someone for the first time, like that love at first sight, people say that's actually desire. It's burning, it's yearning, and like that. But when you see someone like, oh my God, he or she has an amazing body, and you're like, man, I want that, like right now. I know that's desire. That's your body wanting it. That's your body wanting. And sometimes you might confuse desire and lust for love, because love is different. Love is sacrificial. Love is selfless. Love is patient and all that. And that's why when someone, you might see someone, you're like, oh my God, I want that person right now, and everything, and you might go and pursue that person. But then you see the flaws. You see, oh my God, he's not or she's not as what I expected, or maybe he's not as cool as expected. Now, the thing that will actually keep you to that person, or the thing that will actually look past all the negatives and actually take him as or her as she is, and later on build together, and later on look past all the brokenness on all the things that have been are not as perfect as you think, and still choose to be with that person. That is love. That is what is called love. And that's why in this world driven by social media, AI, and instant gratification, the soul is fed, the body is fed, but the spirit is deprived. And that's why many people, they cry after a breakup and they say, man, I wish I didn't meet this person, or this world, there's no good men, there's no good women in this world, because none of you guys, or maybe you really love the person, but he or she just desired you, or he just lusted over you, and you really love the person. Now, sometimes you have to discern where the other person is. If you really love the person and the other person just desires you and just lusts over you, you should discern this, and you should actually talk about it and see how you can move forward. But if you know that this person just desires me and all that, just know that if you are going to continue in that relationship, or you're going to continue in whatever you guys are doing, just know that it's not gonna go well, because it's not eternal. But when you really love someone, it doesn't matter whatever he does, or whatever he is, or whatever limitations he has. You're going to love them for who they are. And that's why Jesus equated love to himself. Now, how can God equate himself as love to something that is temporary? God is eternal, God is divine, God is powerful, and that's how love is, and that's how it should be. But we have perverted it, and the devil has actually influenced us in perverting love, and we tend to call desire love, we tend to call lust love, but it's actually not. Love is eternal, desire is temporary, but it's a fire that drives you into loving. And lust is the most temporary thing ever. After you get gratification, after you get what you need, it just cuts off like that. So always, someone must have a good body and all that. Lust, desire. Remember, you might lust after someone and desire after someone. That will bring you close. But you should let love take control over all, so you can really love someone. I know this has been long, but I believe it's going to help you to actually discern all this. And God bless you if you stay till here. And I pray that you discern it, and God would help you to actually get the right person for you. Have a nice day.